Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is a place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. So today we're going to talk about Wolverine Revenge, #1, by Jonathan Hickman and Greg Capullo. The last review I did was for Uncanny X-Men, which I really liked, but there was a QR code in that book which made me dock a bunch of points off of that book. And since then, I've read X Factor, which was also great, which annoyingly also had a QR code. So I am glad that I have freed myself from the shackles of X books with QR codes in them. And with Wolverine Revenge #1, it's drawn by Greg Capullo. You know, for years since Greg Capullo's been away from DC, we've been waiting to see what this project is going to be. It's been teased. Most people assumed that maybe it was going to be the X-Men with Scott Snyder or some type of collaboration with them. But it was cool that it was finally revealed that it was a Wolverine solo book with Jonathan Hickman. This is a miniseries. It's set in an alternate timeline. And it allows Greg Capullo to go absolutely crazy, which he does in the book. And to me, the closest thing I could kind of compare this to was Doom, which came out a couple months ago from also Jonathan Hickman and Sanford Green, where, Hickman is credited as the writer, but it is very much a showcase of the artist. And in this case of Wolverine Revenge, Greg Capullo is going nuts. There's some characters that were really cool to see. I don't want to be spoiled of that. Just pause, read the book, and then come back at this point. Wolverine Revenge, the setup is that Asteroid M has crashed, imploded, Magneto has died, letting off an EMP, which has put the Americas in a blackout, and now Nick Fury is assembling a team to go after the Brotherhood of Mutants and save the world. Now, this team consists of some SHIELD agents, Captain America, Winter Soldier. They're not much help in this book, but you'll see why. And Wolverine. This first issue is very much a lot of setup. It starts off with Wolverine going up against a dinosaur, which is as cool as you would think when it's drawn by Greg Capullo. It ends sort of in a really epic tease, and what's kind of weird about it, I thought, it's Jonathan Hickman, so I was expecting some infographics and it to be sort of really deep and stuff like that. But it is exactly what the title suggests, Wolverine's Revenge. So it's setting up a story where, hey, Wolverine is about to go on a rampage. At the end of the book, Captain America and Winter Soldier are killed. Nuts, right? Final image, and I'll put it up right here, that really sort of gets you excited for what's to come in the book. And for issue 1, I think, again, it's set up. It's not groundbreaking. It's not that single shot story of Doom, which I think is going to go down as one of the great Doom stories and one of the best one shots of the year. I have a couple issues to come up, so it's very much laying the groundwork for what I think is going to be a balls to the wall, berserker rage, Greg Capullo going crazy type story, which is what people want. I think with comic books, sometimes we can get really into the weeds and sort of overanalyze things, and we want things to be great, but the reality is, hey, sometimes you just want some kick-ass art, and this book is just that. Even though you have one of the great writers of this generation with Jonathan Hickman on it, it really is a showcase of Greg Capullo. And if you are a fan of Capullo's work on Spawn and obviously Batman, this is something I think will be really exciting for fans that have been waiting to see his take on Wolverine. Like I said, great first issue. I think it very much is an art book, and I went in expecting that. The story is very, to me, similar to Old Man Logan, a setup of hey, the world has been decimated, there aren't many heroes left, and guess what? Wolverine, the person that can't die, is still around, and the villains think they can get one over on him, and they are wrong, because he is the best there is at what he does, and what he does is not very nice. Definitely will suggest picking this up. Let me know what you thought of Wolverine's Revenge #1. Peace.